you a middle school math teacher struggling to fit it all in with trying to teach a regular curriculum and try to hit all of the middle school math standards at the same time before your state test? If so, you are not alone. If you want to know my exact strategy on how I cover every single Common Core 6th, 7th, 8th grade math standard before the state test, keep watching. If you're new around here, my name is Kathy Martin and I help 6th, 7th, 8th grade and Algebra 1 math teachers experience more aha moments in the classroom and save time and money with their lesson planning and resources. So how do you cover every single standard before the state test? Well, to be perfectly honest, it's probably not possible. And if you are able to cover every single standard before the state test, I bow down to you. And truly, I'm going to show you what I do so that my students are definitely exposed to every single standard, even if I cannot teach every single standard in depth. Okay. And I'm here to be totally honest with you. I'm not here to lie to you and tell you like, yeah, I cover every single standard. I'm amazing. Like, no, I'm a real teacher like you and I struggle. And to be honest, it's really hard for me every year. It's a struggle every year for me to hit those geometry standards. And so I have worked hard to try to figure out like, okay, how do I at least expose my students to the geometry standards so that when they see some of these things are not totally lost, that they're like, okay, wait, this sounds familiar. I know we did this. And let me just think for a second, right? So here's exactly what I do. Let me share my screen with you. Let me move myself out of the way. Okay, so this is the exact resource that I use to cover every single 6th, 7th, and 8th grade Common Core standard so that I know by the time we get to state testing, they've seen it all, okay? I'm not saying I've covered everything in depth. Nope. And if there are definitely years where I get further along than others, but in years where I'm like, wow, we did not get as far as I wanted to, what do I do? I use this every year, but especially in those years where like we just struggled, like it was just a struggle. And like, I have to own up to that. And like, and it's just okay. I've done my best. But anyway, this is called my spiral review. It's called Tic-Tac Math. And it's called Tic-Tac Math because it's set up like tic-tac-toe. You can see it's 3x3 square. I can have students play this in partners, just like tic-tac-toe. So one person is X, one person is O, or I can just give this like individually to each of my kids. And then they can do this like as homework. They can do this as classwork. They can use this as a station activity. Like there's so many ways that you can use this. And you're probably wondering, okay, great, it's tic-tac-toe. What's so special about it? This one page right here. And if you want this for free, you can get this for free. All you have to do is just download or click the link below in the description box. You are getting, let me just tell you before you hop over there, don't jump off yet. You are getting the first page of my 6th grade resource, the first page of my 7th grade resource, and the first page of my 8th grade resource. The entire resource has over 90 questions. So 90 questions for 6th grade, 90 questions for 7th grade, and 90 questions for 8th grade. So if you get all three, it's 270 questions, right? But if you want a specific grade level, the whole thing, you're getting 90 questions. I'm giving you a little taste for free. And so let me just explain to you what it looks like and how to use this, okay? And then you can go and download it. Okay, so as I was saying, it's set up like tic-tac-toe, and you can use this in partners or individually. The questions around the perimeter of the sheets are multiple choice, and the question in the center is an open-ended question. And this was important to me because I want students to be exposed and practice to both types of questions, okay? Now, the magic in this activity is that each of this page itself, look at all the standards that it covers. This covers 7th grade ratios and proportions, number systems, equations, geometry, probability, just in this one page. And so if you have the whole thing, you'll cover every single standard, okay? And of course, there's an answer key for you. This one is for 6th grade, same thing. This is page 1 of my 6th grade. This has ratios and proportions, equations, geometry, number systems, and then answer key for 6th grade. And then this is for 8th grade. Same thing, number systems, functions, geometry, and equations. And so this is truly the secret into how I am able to expose my students to every single Common Core standard there is. Excuse me. This is especially important when I cannot teach some of these standards like in depth. But if we can go over some of these questions together like this, I'm at least telling them like, hey, like this is what, like odds and what are the odds, right? Like what are the probabilities stuff? Like at least they've heard it. We've gone over it a couple times. Maybe I didn't get to a full like note taking, didn't get to the full lesson, but they've at least heard these vocab words. They've heard some of the thinking. They've heard and seen me go through these problems and solve them together as a class. It's truly made a huge, huge difference for my students during state testing time because it really exposes them to everything, and that is the goal. So if you want to grab this, use the link right below in the description box. You can grab this free resource to use to help you get started with, with really covering all of the standards. Let me know what you think. Let me know what grade you teach and what you need more support with in the comments below. And don't forget, in the comments or in the description box, you can grab this free resource. See you next time. Bye for now.